Hello, viewers, and welcome to another live show. This is the Woke Africa show, and I want to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't and be part of this conversation. I would like to, tell you that Africa is for us. Africa is for Africans. African is for Black people of African descent in the diaspora, on the continent, everywhere you find yourself. The Woke Africa Show is a place where we talk about ourselves, discuss our issues, and talk about things that are important to us. If you're with me now, welcome to the show. Start a chat and let me hear from you, and let me say hi. Um, I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say pissed, but something is going on that like kind of takes me in the wrong direction. So here I am, watching YouTube video, and then I come across this channel. For apparent reasons, I might not be mentioning the channel, but um, negative propaganda. Um, Negative propaganda about the year of return, and I was watching it, and the message that he was kind of like you know putting across was focused on money, 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 money. You know, like Ghana is all about the money they're gonna be getting from the year of return. But I mean, I wouldn't even deny that the year of return apparently has boosted tourism to the motherland, and because it has boosted tourism, some companies would definitely benefit from it. You know, sorry, airlines, airlines will benefit from it. Hotel businesses will benefit. Um, Travel agents will benefit. Tourism companies will benefit. Private homeowners will benefit. Airbnb will benefit. Uber will benefit. I mean, when people are moving up and down, traveling, somebody is making a profit somewhere. And I don't doubt that. But if you look at the concept of the year of return, it's not just about African Americans or African British, or, Argentine, African Argentines, or, the diaspora just visit it. If you look at my channel, you come to know that Ghana has actually issued citizenship to those who decided to stay. About 126 people were issued, how do you call it, a citizenship, and a lot more are in the process of being given citizenship. When I see people or YouTubers, and I see brothers on YouTube down in the year of return, it kind of like, it leaves some kind of like a bad taste in my mouth, because returning to the motherland has a spiritual aspect to it. It's not just about how much money somebody made. It's about returning to Africa, being a first-hand witness that the slave trade happened. Like, it is there. Seeing how our ancestors were treated, the way they were treated. Going to the castles, Elmina Castle, Cape Coast Castle, to see how they were put in chains, to see where they got sick and died in transit, to board these ships, to see how they would enter the door of no return, and that would be the last time they would ever see their families. That would be the last time they would have any kind of, uh, 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 memories made on the land of their fathers. Let me tell you something. My Africa is me. My Africa lives in me. Dr. Nkrumah said something. He said, well, I am not African because I was born in Africa. I'm African because Africa was born in me. You have to realize that you live in the United States, you live in the UK, you are African American, or black person in the diaspora. It's not, life, or living life to the utmost um, best. It's not just about beautiful buildings and skyscrapers. It's about how much connection you feel to the land upon which your feet steps. It's also about how important it is for you to come to Africa and see who we are here down here. For you to come to Africa and see, the kind of exploits we're making down here, so that when someone thinks that they will use your origins as an insult against you, you would say you would laugh at that person and say you have no idea what you're talking about. Get an education, you know. So, brothers and sisters, I think it's kind of high time that we realize that we are all part and parcel to, giving those, at least those who want the chance to reconnect with the motherland. You have a platform, you have a YouTube platform, you have a social media platform, yet you're using it to kind of like, discourage our brothers and sisters in the diaspora who, might be interested in experiencing what it means to be the majority for once in their lifetime, who might be interested to experience what it is to be at a place where they're not black but they're human beings. When they came, okay, so to my brothers and sisters in the diaspora pushing the propaganda that Africa or Ghana owes African Americans an apology, and that instead of making money from the year of return, they should be apologizing to African Americans. Do you have an idea how they left this continent by the time they left? Do you know what they used their superior weapons to do on the continent? Pushing the propaganda that the year of return is all about money. That is a no-no. So for those who have had a positive experience from coming to Ghana or any other African country for that matter, I'm sure would tell you that it's the best money they've spent ever. When you see tourism adverts to Hawaii, to France, and to all of that, you look at it in a romantic way. But here is the situation where Ghana is offering a hand to say that we realize what was done to our brothers and sisters, and it's time to let them know that the narrative is wrong, that we actually do care, that the slave trade was not something that we decided we wanted to do. It was forced upon us, and it's time to welcome our brothers and sisters back home. If an African country decides to push this, then you have African Americans sitting on YouTube and bashing it, and pouring all the propaganda about it being about money. I have African American friends who came to Ghana, and they share experience of kindness, the sheer experience of kindness that they received, love they received, warmth they received. I have medical doctors in the USA who are looking at coming to settle in the motherland, not because there's anything special here. It's just because of the people. It's just because of the freedom you enjoy. It's just because when you come, you have a sense of how do I even talk about it? Look, I've traveled to many countries. I've traveled to many countries, and when I come back home, there's always this sense of like I am home. You know, I've lived in other countries in Europe, in the Middle United Arab Emirates. That I've traveled across Africa, and I'm telling you, it's different. So do not let some YouTube channel tell you not to experience the most important trip an African American or a Black diasporan would ever make in their lifetime. Because we are spirit people, we are soil. Africans, Black people, we are soil. Melanated people, look at your skin as against the soil. We are people of roots. We are people that embodies the creative force of nature. We embody the creative force of nature. Our home is Africa. Our home is Africa. We have to come back and build it. Our home is Africa. Viva Africa. Our home is Africa. We have to come back and build it. And it's not even just, it's not a responsibility to come back and build it, but it is what, putting your house in order tells or talks a lot about who you are, as they always say. So we want to come home. We want to come home and reconnect with the roots. Drink the water that ran through your ancestors. When you enter the Cape Coast Castle, the Elimina Castle, I wouldn't even say castle, the dungeons, the slavery dungeons that they left behind, as much as you get connected, your spirit connects with the kinetic energy or seismic energy or whatever energy is there from the ancestors, it is evidence of sheer wickedness. It's evidence of how our race, we as a people, have been treated and in ways that we would have been extinct now, but we are not. It's a testament of our resilience. It's a testament of our greatness. A greatness that we must teach to our kids. A greatness that we must teach to our children's children. It saddens me today. It saddens me today. And that is why I think this conversation must be had. I went to the UK last year, somewhere in November. I was in Oxford, and I came across Ghanaians who have lived there for a while, Africans who have lived there for a while, established businesses for themselves, you know, making it. And the simple narrative I had was, oh, as for me, I'm not going back to Africa again. As for me, I'm not going back to Ghana again. Well, it's good that you find a good life, living in somebody's country and all of that. But we are the soil. We are Africa. We are Africa. Hey, this is a Walk Africa show, and this is your girl Ejiwa, melanated queen Ejiwa. Feel free to leave your comment. Feel free to say hi if you're online, and if you have any questions, let's have a chat. You know, I think um, it's time for us to kind of like take this seriously, like, because when you live in another country where everything is systemized against you, everything is like, when you want to buy land, you pay higher premiums because of the color of your skin. When you go to buy automobiles, you're paying more because of the color of your skin. When you are, in your home, you can get shot because of the color of your skin. What I want to tell our African American, well, it's not African, people of African descent in the diaspora. What I want to tell you is you don't have to put up with it. There is an alternative, and it's not diseased, and it's not broken, and it's not um the narrative that they put out there. Africa is not a diseased continent, it's not a broken continent, it's not a broken continent. And I think you should come and see for yourself how warm the people are. You should come down here and see for yourself. You should come and see for yourself. So recently, Dr. Boyce visited Ghana. Dr. Boyce visited Ghana, and he if you look at some of my videos, he issued a warning, a stern warning, and he's getting attacked on social media though for coming to Africa. And he said he's warning everyone, if you come to Africa and you spend at least 30 minutes in Ghana, you will never want to go back. This is Dr. Boyce Watkins. He was in Ghana. You know, as I said in my other video, sometimes it's difficult to think that you come to Ghana and everybody like will be so nice to you, and you wonder, is this real? Like, are people, isn't this hypocritical? Are people that nice naturally? Yeah, that the truth is, yeah. Busting the myths. The year of return, that was the dream of our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He fought so hard to unite the African continent, to invite the people of African descent in the diaspora home. He led the fight with Patrice Lumumba, W.E.B. Du Bois. You know, the list goes on. And they fought for the unity of Africa. Hi, Terence. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Woke Africa Show. This is your melanated queen, Ejewa. And I come from the Ashanti Kingdom. And I found this person who I don't want to give credit to, talking about the fact that Dr. Boyce was funny, or there was something funny about Dr. Boyce wearing kente and embracing the warmness of Ghanaians, the warmness of the Ashanti Kingdom. And I'm like, really? Some of our brothers and sisters must realize the times. If you don't accept your own, if we continue with the attitude of self-hatred that we've been taught, right from you know the time that we were children till today. Um, it will take us a lot more time, but you should know that everything, those who come to Africa and they see the kind of cities we're building and they see the kind of, the level of education and zero evidence of all the sick and ailing children. You remember those ones that UNICEF and all those organizations make with children with flies in their nose and in their eyes and everywhere. You come here and you realize that everyone is accounted for. Yeah, there are people hustling on the streets, but after all is said and done, they go home. There are poor people in Africa. Yes, there are poor people in Ghana, but even the poor find a way to be happy. So, what is an utopia? Utopia is a place where people, not just that the conditions are good, but the people are happy. And when you come to Ghana, you would experience utopia. You would find that people are genuinely warm and happy and kind. And that is an association you would want to belong to. That is a family that you would want to belong to. So, well, we apologize because KLM that brought you to Africa is charging exorbitantly because of the year of return. And that is a shame. Airlines are overcharging customers who are coming to Ghana. And that is a shame. They're making money off it. And I'm hoping that some of our brothers who are condemning the year of return, well, they would talk about that instead. The colonizer is still making money of the year of return. So that is why the president of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is asking the diasporan wealthy people, come back to Africa, buy your own airlines. Let us own the airlines. So when our African brothers and sisters are coming back home, they wouldn't have to buy exorbitant, tickets at exorbitant rates. That is why we are asking our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, come home. See the Africa that, the land that you were stolen from. And I keep saying this, look, y'all, these white people, I hear the narrative going around that Africa sold people out. Let me tell you, in the 18th centuries, slave trade was the single most profitable business in America. The single most profitable. You take away alcohol, you take away textiles, you take away drugs, you take away everything, you put it all together. Slavery was the single most profitable business. In the 1870s, over 10 million slaves were shipped from Africa alone to the United States. And you think what? They paid bandits, they paid people, they were unscrupulous. How many laws were preventing them from wreaking havoc in Africa? How many international laws were preventing them from wreaking havoc in Africa? How many? So I listen to brothers, in the USA on YouTube channel, and they're bashing Ghana for the year of return. And I'm asking, what are you doing about it? The past is gone. It's whatever happened has happened. What are we doing about it to correct it? What new thing are we teaching our children, that there's a home they can go to, there's a place they can call home, and there's a place where everyone is invited to the table. You know, like I have this experience where even at my job, there are people who would not lift a finger to help anybody. But when you decide to do something good that will benefit someone, they take a pen and a paper and they start to mark you. When it's going good, oh, they say nothing. They do not pat you on the back. They do not give you a hug. They do not say, well done. No, but make just that one mistake. That one, that one mistake. Then they get up, they fight you, they do all kinds of things. But when you look at their track record, they have done zero to help anybody. Zero to help anybody. So I hear Terence says, I think the Western media propaganda is stuck in the minds of the diaspora. They think the call to return is a scam. Yes. And Terence, I would appreciate brothers to kind of like research about our struggles. In Africa, you see, when you look at the struggles, that's why I was treating the disconnect between the diaspora and Africa. And I've come across a lot of people. Across a lot of people who struggled. And if you look at history, there is so much. Let me tell you, look, guys, listen. There is so much that is not recorded. Okay? There is so much that has been omitted from history about the struggles in Africa, about what happened during the slave trade, about what happened during the struggles for freedom in the USA. They talk about Nat Turner, they talk about Harriet Tubman, but have they talked about the single biggest